righty. Well, this is very exciting. Very exciting. All right. Hello. All right. So we did some tests. You should be able to hear me. I look forward to. Where are you? Oh, way down here. That's terrible. Let's see. There we go. If I can see you. All right. So we should be able to hear me. Audio. Hooray. Audio. All right. We did a little test. We did some stuff to make sure. Woo, we've got. This is my fancy camera that I use on Facebook. I use for the podcast, etc. All right, hang on a second. Come here, Bo. Oh, Bo is very excited to get up here and show off his holiday sweater. Okay, he's got his little snowflakes on. He's very excited to say hello, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Hello. All right, well, we didn't want to have a repeat of last week, that's for sure. We needed to get that audio working, so really appreciate your patience with all of that. Oh, and your patience with all of that. And very excited to be back with you all. Okay, this is our last for the year. I know, he's so cute, isn't he? He's a cutie pie. I wish I could show you Buddy, but he's like 80 pounds, and I definitely cannot show you Buddy because he does not go up like that. But okay, so this is our last live for the year. Today, in case if you're not following me on my personal page, which is totally fine, is my husband's birthday. He's 58 today, and it is very joy-filled for me. And then my birthday is next week. So it is our most wonderful time of the year because we get so many things to celebrate, so many wonderful things to celebrate. And so I'm trying to pull all the cards. So one of the things we do this time of year is we clean everything, especially in my office, because the wonderful ladies who clean my house, they know not to touch anything in this room. And so once a year, we like just lift everything, wipe underneath of it, and put it back so that we have. So my desk right now is a little like wah wah. So try to find all my things. So all right, so we're gonna do it upright before we go out to the wonderful birthday dinner with my family. Could not believe my entire family is available to have dinner on the same night. That is so difficult to coordinate with everybody. And I said, we put this together last night, and my everybody said, yeah, we're available. And I thought, holy cow, it's a Christmas miracle. So all right. Happy solstice. Now, we're not still technically in the energy of solstice. That ended this morning. Solstice was officially yesterday morning. So it's very, very exciting that we are through the solstice, which means we've had the longest night and the shortest day in the winter solstice. And now the light is going to come back. Okay, now we're going to start to see the light coming back to the days are going to get a little longer, okay, which is great. So little by little, a few minutes every day, you're going to see the days are starting to get longer. So it's not going to be dark, hopefully not at 4:30 in the afternoon. And then you will move as we go into the summer solstice, where we have the longest day, and we start all over again. One of the things that's important about welcoming back the light is welcoming the light into our heart, welcoming in forgiveness. And I want to share this with you. It's just a little email that came through. Y'all know I love Kyle Gray, and he teaches about angels. And I read this story in Kyle's book, but he shared it, in an email that came through. So I just wanted to share this because I just felt like it was so, it was so powerful, because this time of the year, it is about letting the light into our heart, and that is so much about letting all the other crap out, especially as we're going to the end of this year. So this is the email that he sent. It says, "I'll never forget this day as long as I live. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I remember heading into my office with my usual daily coffee. As I walked up to the door, there was a woman already standing there with two of her children. She told me she had an appointment and asked if I could move it forward because she didn't know how long she had. Realizing something emotional was going on inside her, I said, 'Hey, sure, come on in.' As soon as she stepped inside, and she looked at me and said, 'If there's anyone here from the spirit world, I do not want to hear from them. I'm happy to hear from angels, but I don't want to hear from the dead.' But before she could say anything else, I could already see the image of a man in my mind. Someone from heaven was trying to reach her. I asked her to hold my hands and say a prayer, and as I tuned in, I could feel this pull in my mind, almost like a struggle between her and this man who needed to come through. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my belly, and I looked down, and physically and spiritually, I could see blood all over my hands. I looked up to her and I said, 'There's blood on my hands. Someone's been murdered.' She replied, 'I wouldn't call it that. It was self-defense.' I said again, 'There's blood on my hands, and if there's blood on my hands, there's blood on your hands.' It turned out that the woman sitting in front of me had been in an abusive relationship, and one night things took a turn for the worse in what she described as self-defense. She had killed her partner. The real reason she came to my office that day was because deep down in her heart, she knew she wanted to know she wasn't going to go to hell, when in truth, she was already living in it. As the reading unfolded, the presence of this man grew clearer. His wish wasn't to blame her or to frighten her. He wanted her forgiveness, not because he needed it to be free, but because her forgiving him would free her from the mental hell she'd been trapped in for years. That day changed my entire life. I learned that unforgiving thoughts keep us locked in an emotional and mental prison, and that when our souls return to heaven, forgiveness becomes the natural state. We forgive everyone for everything, and we can create a version of heaven on earth by experiencing forgiveness while we're here. Even though she didn't want to hear from him that day, I was able to hold a loving, compassionate conversation in the presence of him and the angels, guiding her toward a place of forgiveness. And even though she later went to jail for what happened that night, she was freed from a different kind of prison, the belief that she was condemned, unworthy, or beyond redemption. Through forgiving her ex-partner for all the years of torment, she freed herself from his behavior and his decisions once and for all. It's through experiences like this that I unlock what it really means to forgive and be forgiven. Through working with the angels, I've learned that forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Even though forgiveness might feel like we're letting someone get away with their bad behavior, it's actually something different. It's about choosing not to let someone else's actions define your current state of happiness. Forgiveness is a gift to the self, but it's also a gift to the soul. So while we are communicating today and while we're connecting, I want, and as we are acknowledging the solstice and this major shift, now, especially as we are 8 days away from the end of the year, a 9-year, and moving into, sorry, I have an itch in my eyelash, and as we're moving into the 1 year, so we know we've been talking for weeks about this is the completion of the cycle. Hang on, Robin, I see you. That we know that this is the completion of a cycle. This is a 9-year, and we are getting ready to move into the 1 year, a new journey, a new adventure for everyone. What is it that we are still holding in our hearts? What is it that we are still holding on to that is not serving us? Where are we holding on to anger and resentment and frustration? And I'm saying we because I'm in it too. Please do not think for 1 second that I am innocent in this, because I am not. I might have a very clear walk with spirit, and I know who they are and where they are and what they can do to help us, but I am still a human being on this earth, and I look around and see injustice, and I struggle, and I get angry just like anybody else. And so as we are moving forward today, the questions I really want to ask are, what are you still holding on to that you can let go of? Where are the things that you cannot control, can't fix, and don't, nobody asked you to fix it, and they're not in your lane, that while you might feel unhappy that something is happening, can you step out of that lane and say, I am going to pray for the best possible outcome for this. I'm going to send light and love for the best possible outcome for this. And I'm going to continue to try, which is the operative word, to remember that all of these things are happening for a reason as part of humanity's evolution, and part of humanity's evolution through the chakras, and part of humanity's evolution to higher consciousness. And that someday, because we have walked these paths, we will find peace on earth. And so what can we let go of? What can we say, I don't like this, but it's not my lane. And so I'm going to allow that some other higher purpose, even if I don't understand it, is going on with this, and let it step to the side. And if you can do that, we clear the way for so much of this anger and frustration and division, which is what some in our societies are trying to foment. The anger, the hatred, the racism, the divisiveness, the us versus them. And we as light workers, light bringers, light believers, light channelers, light people who just acknowledge and show up because they believe there's something, it is our responsibility to say, no, I don't want to get sucked into that vortex of hate and negativity. I want to believe that there is something more, something higher, something better, some positive reason, some positive outcome that will come from this. And I think we can all say we've been through our own versions of hell at some point in our lives. Nobody gets to be, so my husband turned 58 today. I'll be 56 next week. Nobody gets to be even 25 or 30 without having something. Nobody certainly gets to be 40 or 50 or 60 without something. We have all walked through the hell. We have all walked through our own personal, whatever that is, that we have walked through and come out the other side. And let me remind you, if you're even listening to me, then your record of getting through all that muck is 100%. Which means you are stronger than the storm, you are stronger than whatever is out there, and that it is our responsibility to continue to channel in the love and the light, okay? So having said all of that, maybe take some time between now and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night is right, 22, 23, 24, Wednesday night, to say, what can I just let go of that isn't mine? What can I, Sharon, what can I let go of? And from that, ask yourself these questions and maybe jot them down or come back and watch the recording. Where do I want to be 6 months from now? What dream is ready to grow in my heart, in my life? And what better version of me is waiting to shine? What better version of me is waiting to shine? Because we are stepping out of a 9-year, which means we have got to leave this stuff in 2025. 2025 has been a brutal year for a lot of people. It's been a wonderful year. Like every single year, we can say there are things that were mountaintops and valleys, okay? When we are walking away from the 2025 year, there are things we do not need to take with us. And we want to be shed all of that so that we are filled with light, love, hope, promise, and positive expectancy to co-create with the universe as we step into the new 1 year. Okay, 2026 is a 1 year, right? 2026. Okay, 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. It's a 1. It's a new adventure. So what is it that we are ready and waiting for? What is the higher version that is of ourselves, of us, that is waiting to shine in 2026? Okay, that is important. These things are important. All right, so I'm actually going to copy that and I'm just going to plop it in our chat right there. So all right. So Robin, thank you for being with us. So happy that you are here. We do channel information, we do collective card reading, and then we will do individual cards and individual readings for people. So yay, don't go away. All right. So having said all that, I must, because I totally forgot my water in the other room somewhere. All right. I like to ask which of our angels, our archangels, are hanging out with us. So this is Kyle Gray's archangels. We'll see just what's going on with us today and who's hanging around, because it's always nice when we have the archangels around us. They are always around us. Angels, guides, loved ones, and spirits, always around us, always around us. But I always like to check in and see who's calling, please, because I feel like it gives us a little bit of a glimpse into what is it that they're trying to bring our attention to. You know, if it's Gabriel and we're having messages, if it's Can't remember. My mind just went completely blank. Well, so I like to see who it is. If we have Hamuel is one of my favorites because he's got such a great sense of humor. So, all right, who's paying attention to us today? Who's hanging out with us? This is Daniel, divine discernment. Okay, also, you know how much I believe that the words that come out of my mouth when I sit down to work with you all and meet with you at 4:30 on Monday is I ask them ahead of time is please give me the words that you would have me say. Okay, please put in my mouth whatever you would have me say. And I know the cards are little eavesdroppers. So here we are, Daniel, divine discernment, trust in the messages within. They are divinely guided. So when we say who's paying attention to us today, who's hanging around with us today, this is what they want us to know is that it is so important that we are listening to those higher guidances, listening to those higher voices. What do we need to let go of as we are finishing up 2025? What is it that we want to show up as? What do we want to create, cultivate, dream, herd, live, be as we move into this new adventure of a 1 year. Okay. So I love when the archangels show up because it tells us that they're paying attention, and we know that they are. We absolutely know that they are. All right. We're also going to grab our Malachim cards. These are the Israeli, Hebrew, Arabic, and English angel cards because we love working with our angels, don't we? And so these are Malachim. So the cards are all written in Hebrew on top, Arabic in the middle, and then English at the bottom. These are conceptual cards. These are meant to be ideas. So they are giving us ideas of things for us to pay attention to. So we've got here acceptance for what is, acceptance of things we cannot change, right? Like the prayer, give me the strength to accept what I cannot change and release what I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference, the serenity prayer. And this is contemplation. Okay. So we got to do some thinking. We got to do some thinking as we are heading into the end of this year. We got to do some thinking. Give yourself permission to let your mind wander. Give yourself permission to ask the question truly, what is it I most need to know? Y'all know my everyday mantra. What is it I most need to know today for myself and for my highest good to help me move forward on my path and to help those around me to move forward on theirs? That is the thing I say every single morning. Good morning. Good morning. I pet dogs and cats that are hogging up my bed. I kiss my husband if he's around, because sometimes he is and sometimes he isn't. I say good morning. Angels, guides, loved ones, and spirit. Thank you. Thank you for the gift of the day. Thank you for the gift of breath, of life. In Judaism, we have tons of prayers we say in the morning that are all about waking up the body, and being grateful. And in many practices about being grateful that the soul has returned into the body, because our soul goes traveling at night while we sleep, and our soul gets recharged and reconnected, and our body rests and rejuvenates. And to thank you for allowing my soul to return to my body. Thank you. What is it I most need to know today for my highest and best good to help me move myself forward on my path for my highest and best good and for the best good of those around me? Okay, that is literally what I say every day. What do I need to know today for my highest and best good to help me move forward on my path for the highest and best good of myself and for those around me? Okay, all right. So let's see what the cards have to say. I always love to make sure that we're chatting a little bit. I want to share whatever it is they're trying to bring through my mouth to share this information first off, because I know the cards, being little eavesdroppers, are going to come in and they're going to corroborate and confirm whatever it was we were just talking about. And then we're going to do individual card readings for you all. All right. All right. All right, so what do we most need to know about what's going on in the world today, around us, around ourselves, that we most need to know to help us move forward on our paths for the collective good and highest good today? And this is the word essence. This is card number 19. So 1 and 9 is 10, new adventures. This is the essence. And this reminds us not to forget who we are, okay? And you can see the beautiful temple, and you can see the fish that seems to be floating in midair. And I'll go with that. Fish floating in midair. Sure. Why not? Because I don't think that we're in a koi pond. But the fish has the ability to move through obstacles. The fish is flexible, right? And the fish needs to remember to breathe, right? And the essence of who we are is not what we look like. It is not where we live. It is not in the temple. It is not in the fish tank. It is not in, the suburbs, the cities, the wrong sides of the tracks, the high rises or the low rises. The essence of who we are and the essence of what we have to bring to the table and what we have to offer and what we are capable of all starts in the heart. It all starts because we are a spark of divine light and love, period, end, full stop. Okay. And when we can remember that, everything else will fall into place, or at least begin to. We are a spark of divine light and love. We did not come here by accident. We are not here on accident. And the essence of who we are, important to remember, the essence of who we are is the soul. It is not this wrapping, right? All right, what else do we need to know to help us to move forward as we finish up this 2025 year? This is joy. Now, this is upside down, not surprising. Joy, this is upside down. This is the 30 card, number 3. We know more to the story, right? 3 tells us we have that. I always talk about 3 like the profile of a butterfly. You can see it and then it opens up and there's more to the story, right? There's more to that happening in number 3. But our joy card is upside down. We need to turn it right side up. And that means that right now, so many of us are heavy. We're heavy. We're really consumed with the stuff that's not in our lane, which doesn't mean you don't have to have, that you shouldn't have an opinion. If you have an opinion, great, have an opinion. It doesn't mean that you can't have feelings about these things. But remember that there are things we can control and things we can't control. And sometimes the things that we can control consists of making a donation, signing a petition, making your voice heard on whatever your platform is, but it is not about anger, resentment, division, okay? It is about finding the joy in the moment, okay? And the moment is, aren't we so lucky that whatever is going on in the world around us, that we can still, A, wake up in the morning safe and sound in our homes, hopefully, B, come together to embrace and support and lift and grow our light, because when we come together, we grow. We are just finished the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, which is just the most wonderful holiday. And it's fun and it's about light. And you light one candle and then the next night you light another candle. And by the 8th night, you will have 9 candles because you have the main candle that lights all the others. And so you have 9 candles. So the lights get brighter and brighter and brighter. But the thing is that the original candles, they're not any less bright than they were. They didn't lose anything by sharing their light with all the others. Okay. So this reminds us that this is important for us to share our light. Okay. And so the joy card reminds us that it is important to share our light. We've got to turn our joy card right side up and remember and focus more on the things that are blessings, that are joyful, that are dancing in the streets and loving in the moonlight and dancing in the moonlight and dancing in the rain, that we're focusing more on the things that bring us joy than we are on the things that bring us aggravation and stress. Okay. We've got to keep the scales tipped. And that is a conscious choice, because it's very easy to tip that thing. I watched, Dylan and I watched this show 99 to Beat with Ken Hahn and Erin Andrews. Silly, ridiculous television game show that there was 99 people and they have all these ridiculous tasks they have to do that really shouldn't be very challenging. But when you are trying to rush because you can't be last or you'll be eliminated, they can become very challenging. And one of the last challenges they had was this big teeter-totter thing that you had to balance, and it was so heavy. And when we're trying to do all that and balance that ourselves, we get all stressed out and it becomes heavier and heavier, right? When we are balancing and by staying connected with each other and staying connected in joy, we can find that balance. Okay. And I kept thinking that all the time I was watching these people, the people who were arguing, bonk, bonk. But the people who were working together, like, we got it, we got it, we got it. They got it. And they were not eliminated. So staying in the joy. All right. Where's the place we're going to have hiccups? Where do we need to be aware of as we're going forward? And then this is inspiration. And this is also upside down. So this is inspiration card 29. So 9, 10, 11, 1, we never walk alone. And 1 and 1 is 2 says we are, again, not alone. We are reminded that while we are a spark of divine light and love, we came into our human bodies. We are not alone. Okay. So this is the inspiration card. It was upside down. We're going to remember to turn that right side up, because we're going to listen. We're going to tune in, because we know we are being paired with our higher self, our angels, our guides, our loved ones, our spirit animals, our whatever guardian angels. The guides that come in, we have guides that come in for specific activities, specific parts of our day, specific challenges that are going on with us. So the inspiration is there. And this is the reminder for us that when we tune into something higher, hello, light going straight up. When we tune into something higher, it's much easier for us to channel into our joy. Okay. And when we do that, we're remembering the true essence of who we are, which is a higher being of divine light and love. We're here in a body to have experiences, but that's not who we are. Who we are is most of us up there. I love talking about the guys in the parades that they like put their arms up and they put like the hat is over their whole upper body, and then they draw a face on their belly and they walk through the parades and they like wiggle their bellies and make it look like their face is moving and their cheeks are puffing out. I think they're the mummers, I forget. But these guys where they're, you know, so much more of who they are is above their head, and it looks like their face is way down by their belly button, and that's not the true essence of who they are. There's so much more to them that is hidden that we cannot see. And every time I see those guys, or every time I think of this, that there's so much more to us than we can see, that's the image, ridiculous though it may be, that comes into my head, is of these guys going through the parades, right? Because they make us laugh, but it reminds us that's the inspiration. That's who we it's not the mummers. Okay, I don't know. But that's where we draw our inspiration from, is from the stuff that's above us, the stuff that's not stuck into the meat sack of our body, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Why does it seem like I'm not seeing all of your comments? Huh. All right, well, we're going to see this in a second because, hang on a second, I feel like I'm, all right, no, we got it, all right. All right, so that's the story. All right, so let's move on to cards for you all. So if you are ready for a card for yourself, please do put it in the comments and let's get you all some cards. Okay, cards for you. What do you want to know? Remember, you don't have to share your specific question with us. Just hold it in your head, hold it in your heart, and when we pick your card, when we get to you, it will be, you know, the cards will know. The cards will know. All right, so who's having a card today? Sharon Goldstein says May. I assume that means may I have a card. So yes, absolutely. Sharon, did you have another comment that got deleted? Something you said, not the mummers, and now I can't find the. I don't see that comment. I don't know if it got deleted or what. All right, but yes, Sharon Goldstein a card. All right, I'm not sure what's going on. Why am I? Oh, there they are. All right, here they are. Here they are. Okay. So I saw Sharon first, even though Stacy's comment kind of jumped above. So I'm going to do Sharon's first because I saw her comment first, and then we'll go to Stacy, and there she is, and Stephen. So we'll get Sharon first. So Sharon, this is the enthusiasm card. And this is upside down as well. So this is the enthusiasm. Okay, deleted. Okay, I was just making sure, you know, after last week with the sound, I was afraid if there's something going on with us. So you're good, you're good. Okay, so this is the enthusiasm card for Sharon, and this is card 18. So this is 1 and 8 is 9, right? But reminds us, the 8 reminds us the infinity symbol, right? That we have all the time in the world, okay? We have all the time, because all the things that we feel like, oh, I have to get all this stuff done is the human thing, right? But in spirit, we have all the time in the world. But this is Sharon. This is the enthusiasm card. This is, listen, don't get caught up on the little things. Don't get caught up on the little things. Keep your focus on the joy, okay? And be willing to put your heart into the things that bring you joy and the things that are being passionate to you, the things you're being drawn to or called to. Allow yourself to put your energy into that, to be excited about those things, because that will energize them and it will also energize the people around. Because it does feel like there's a place of like, I'm a little bit afraid about putting my heart over the line here. I'm a little bit afraid about being like, taking a chance to believe or to have faith that this, you know, might happen or it could work. And so what they're talking about with the enthusiasm card card is to give yourself permission to throw your heart over the line and to allow your feelings to be known and your joy to be shared. So 18 absolutely is high. It's the number high in Hebrew and is a symbol for life. Now I have to tell you, because I was laughing and I was not laughing at Sharon or her card. So I do have an 85-pound Bernese Mountain Dog, and I also have a paper bag here on the floor that is the recycling paper that I take out when we, to the main trash can. And he loves to eat paper. And so knowing I was busy, not paying attention because I was over here, he literally snuck himself in here, and he does it all the time, usually just walks in. But if I'm here, he just snuck himself in and put his big old head in the paper bag and took the paper and ran off. And now he's sitting in the foyer eating the piece of paper. It's hilarious because he thinks he's being all coy, 85 pounds, like I'm not going to see him. So Sharon, live it up. This is what they're talking about for you right now is don't be coy, live it up. So the fact that he did that was being all coy at the time that I was giving Sharon this card reading information about enthusiasm was cracking me up, because they're telling you don't be coy, let your feelings show, let your light shine. Absolutely. All right. So we were going to go back to, I saw Stacy's comment was first, and then we've got Steve. Okay. And then, all right. So we've got Stacy. There you are. So Stacy, this is success. Wow, love this. This is success, and it's 47. So 4 we know is about being fully supported by angels, gods, loved ones, and spirit, right? And so 7 means there's a change in direction, right? It's not like, right? It's just a change in direction. And so 47 is 11, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11, we just talked about that, right? Where we're being supported with 11. 1 and 1 is the partnership number. We are not walking alone. And 1 and 1 is 2. Again, we have partnership. So this is talking to you about who are you walking your path with, Stacy, your path to success. This is a really positive card that says you are going to go forward in a successful way, that the path is made clear for you, okay, and straight, which is nice. Now it's also stairs, which means it's going to be a bit of a climb, but that it is full on straight path, that you just keep going in the direction you're going in the right direction. But it's also talking about, because this is a partnership number, it's also talking about who else is with you, that who can you bring with you along the journey? Are you mentoring someone? Is someone mentoring you? Where else can you give back? Can you contribute? Where is that partnership as you're going forward to your path of success? Okay, so this is something to pay attention to. So really positive card, Stacy, especially as we're coming through this 9-year to the 1 year. But at the same time, where is that place where you can be going arm in arm with somebody? Okay, you don't have to do it all yourself. Collaboration is the key in this one. Okay, all right. So we've got Steven. And hello, Melissa. You are welcome, Sharon. All right, we've got Stephen. Okay. I always like to know what's going on with Stephen's cards, because I know he's plugged into a lot of things. So it's always interesting to see what's going up. Oh my goodness, Stephen Man Meter. This is card 40. So remember, 4 legs to the chair table. You're not walking alone either. But this is the power card. Okay, this is an elephant that is coming through the woods, but look at all the stars in the sky. So there's a lot of light shining down, but this is also talking about using your power wisely, my friend. This is talking about not being a stampeding elephant. This is talking about walking carefully through the woods, because actually the elephants are not, when they can stampede and they can trample all stuff, but in general, they're quite careful about how they're stepping. So this is reminding you to be very mindful of the power that you have and how you are using it. Make sure you're using it wisely. And that elephants, remember that part about elephants never forget. They may or may not hold grudges. Hard to say. Who's to say? But that becomes your choice. But they don't forget. They learn the lessons and they take those lessons with them. So elephants are wise and they have immense power. So this is really important about having your and it's not about ego, but it is about using your power wisely. So if there's been a place that you're maybe flexing your muscle a little bit, you might want to look at that and say, is this too much? Am I, banging too hard on this? Where can I pull this back? Or where do I need to push a little more? Because this is all about using your power wisely, but it's also because it's that 4 card, because it's 40, the number 40 is, this is really about knowing that you are also being supported as you're going forward. Okay. There's also a piece of this about staying tuned into divine guidance with the stars in the sky to say, listen, make sure that you're asking for help. You are being supported with that, divine guidance, but that doesn't mean that we turn our back on the guidance. We say, oh, I know you're there. Let's not take advantage of it, right? Let's not take it for granted. And so they're saying, listen, it's really important that you're remembering we're here to help you. This is a partnership. We're in co-creation. So use that power wisely. Okay. All right. You are welcome, Stacy. All right. So let's see. Where are we now? All right. We've got Melissa. All right, Melissa. And I got little hearts from Shantu. All right. So we've got Melissa. All right, so Melissa, you are welcome, my friend. You're welcome. I thought it was a great card. I never pulled that one for you before, so that was really cool. All right, Melissa, this is compassion. This is the compassion card. Okay, we have the wolf here, and so there is a bit of power that is here as well. So this is about compassion, and it is with the compassion card. Now, what number are we? This is 12. So 1 and 2 is 3. Okay, so we know we talked about 3 before, about more to the story, but the compassion card comes really in where we're talking about power dynamics. Okay, so Melissa, we have the wolf, which is really strong, and then you have this woman who is sitting here, and they are completely sympathetic though. They are really not having any kind of power dynamic going on. And when I work with people in private sessions, I am always looking at what is the power energy between them. Is somebody like going to be higher or lower? Is someone dominant or, not? Are we taking advantage of something? Are we turning our backs? Are we, in good communication? We have closeness, or are we estranged? What's going on in that energy? And you can see in this that it is very connected. They're very in alliance with each other, Melissa. But there is the power with the wolf. But this is also about the power that she has as well to tame the wolf inside. So this is in our inner selves, those places where we can feel in conflict with each other, to remember we have the ability to come back into alignment with ourselves and with our power. You know, the story about the Indian grandfather and Native American grandfather who, tells that we each have the wolf on each shoulder, and one is a good wolf and one is the not good wolf, and then, which one is going to win. And the grandfather says something to the effect of, it depends on which one you feed. And so in this, Melissa, you have this wonderful balance between two strong powers, okay, two strong powers that have come together to say, we are going to co-create together. We are not going to be in a power struggle. And this compassion says, namaste. The light within me acknowledges the light within you, which acknowledges the light within me. And so this is where we come to compassion and inner peace, and really a peaceful soul journey in our human space. Okay. So this is a really beautiful card about collaboration and co-creation, and possibly even cohabitation as well. So keeping your power balance. Okay. All right. Hi, Catherine Johnson. We are doing cards. So if you want to get one, now is the time to ask. So otherwise, we'll be ready to pull up the last. I see we have a few more people that are here that are not necessarily asking for cards. So if you would like a card, this is definitely the time to ask. Otherwise, we'll pull up the last card of 2025, right? The last card of 2025. Oh, Melissa, that's great. So on point. What a big shock. I love it. I love it. It really makes such a, it is such a wonderful reminder. I don't take it for granted at all that the words that come through me are divinely inspired for you all. But it always just tickles the heck out of me when they say that, when you all say that was totally on point. That just absolutely just tickles me to pieces, because I know that they're trusting me with being the conduit, and that's a great honor. So, all right, a few more questions. We've got Kathy, and we also have Catherine. So Kathy and Kathy to the point. So we're going to do Kathy Colton Dunlop first, and then we'll come back and do Catherine Johnson. So Kathy Colton Dunlop, question for you is Speaking spiritually, what is the question that she needs to have an answer to? This is Voyage, Kathy Colton Dunlap. This is Voyage. Yeah, I haven't seen your name popped up in a while, so I'm so happy for you to be here for our last one for the 2025. So this is Voyage, and this is card 51. So 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 tells me that there's something birthing in the new year. There's something coming, something that wants to come out, something that wants to be grown, shared, shown, something, that there's something wonderful that is wanting to come out, that you have been working, traveling the high seas, scouring the great corners of the earth to be able to gather the information and the things to be able to share with the rest of us what is your light, your dream, your creation, your project that you are bringing to fruition in the 2026 year. So this is a great card for you. This is something new is coming. There's a new adventure. Something new is coming that wants to be coming to the light through you and with you, Kathy. So this voyage is not necessarily about travel. I know it's, I know it says it's a big ship, and you say now you're going on a cruise on Sunday. So that is absolutely fantastic. So this is, it's not necessarily about getting on a ship, but it is about traveling, and it is about changing your situation, changing what's right in front of you and seeing what's right in front of you in a different way. Okay. So I hope you have an absolutely fantastic time on your trip. And it sounds like you're going to be spending New Year's at sea, which sounds really fun. And I hope you have just the most wonderful time, and we'll look forward to having you come back with us in the new year. Now, remember, we are not here. I know I didn't forget Katherine Johnson. We are not here next week. On Monday is my birthday, and we should be back together on the 5th. It is my belief that we would be back together on the 5th. So very exciting. So we'll have a little bit of a break, but not too long. So fantastic. Absolutely correct. I love it. Love it. All right. So thank you, Kathy. So let's do Katherine Johnson. This is transformation. This is transformation, and this card is 49. So 9 and 4 is 13, and 1 and 3 is 4, right? You've heard me talking about 4 with that support, right? Cosmic support, 4 legs of that chair table, divine support, right? Oh, thanks, Melissa. So this is transformation. So Katherine, this is about what is, and if you look back in the comments, we had talked about this. What is it that I want to share? What is it? Where do I want to be in 6 months? What is ready to grow inside of me that I'm ready to bring out in the 2026 year? And what is the best version of me? What better version, higher version of me is waiting to shine? And so really for Katherine, this is really what it's talking about. This transformation card is the things that you are rising to, the things that you are accomplishing and achieving and being capable of. And even those things where you thought, boy, I never thought I could do that, or I would do that. There are plenty of things like I never thought I was going to have to do that. This is all part of your journey, and to just trust the process and remember with that 4 number how you are being supported, right? So just trust that process for sure. Okay, so Katherine, this is a beautiful card for you. Look at the butterfly turning into something beautiful, stronger, better, faster, more fluid than before. So the transformations and the challenges that may be coming to you right now, allow them to help lift you and carry you, because it really is so much about your evolution and how you are going forward. Okay, so these are all blessings. The transformation card does not mean necessarily that your world's going to get turned upside down, but that there is some growth and shifting that's coming for you. But again, remember that card being 49, 9 and 4 is 13, 13, 3 and 1 is 4. It says, we've got you. We've got you. So trust us and allow this to unfold, because we've got you. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. I love that card. I love that card. All right. Are we ready? So this is it, the last card of 2025, right? That we are publicly, that we are pulling as our community of light. This is the card of peace. This is the card of peace. And this card, I don't know if you could see it way down in the corner. This card is 37. 3 and 7, that is 10. We're wrapping it up. 2025 is a 9-year. 10 is the end of the road. We start again with the 1 in 2026, which is 10. Okay. So peace in the new year, peace to all of you, to all of us, with the beautiful cherry blossoms, Okay, peace to all of us as we finish this tumultuous 2025 year. Peace to you as you celebrate whatever holidays and family gatherings and traveling that you are doing over the next 8 days. Peace knowing that you are part of something that is important. We are part of our community of light, and our community is connected to other communities, and that the light is the way we are going to help move our humanity forward. Peace as we all come into this new year, new chapters, new adventures as we move into the 1 year. So I love you all so very much. I'm so grateful every day you choose to show up and spend a little bit of time with me. And I wish you all the most fabulous rest of your holiday season. And I look forward to seeing you in the new year. So look for me on January 5th. God bless. Season's greetings. Happy holidays. Happy solstice. Peace to all of us. You are loved. See you next year.